Life is a journey that unfolds in ways we often cannot predict, and yet, it is in these unpredictable moments that we find the truest reflections of ourselves. I have come to understand that life is not measured solely by the events that occur, but by the depth of feeling we bring to those events, by the awareness with which we experience each passing moment, and by the connections we cultivate with those who share our path. When I reflect on the people who have shaped me, who have influenced my growth, and who have shown me the quiet strength of love, patience, and care, I am struck by how delicate and precious these bonds are. There is a wisdom in recognizing the subtle power of presence, the way one person can shift the entire trajectory of another's life simply by being there with understanding, compassion, and unwavering support. It is often said that time reveals all truths, and I have found that the passage of time does not merely bring clarity to events, but also to the people who stand beside us. Their patience, their courage, their silent acts of kindness, and their steadfastness in the face of challenges all become more evident as we look back and realize how much their influence has shaped us. Love, in its purest form, does not demand explanation. It does not conform to expectations or societal norms. It flows naturally, resiliently, and without condition, binding two souls together in ways that cannot always be articulated. There is a grace in recognizing this kind of love, a humility in accepting that some of the most profound bonds require neither justification nor validation from the outside world. The depth of connection is often measured not by dramatic gestures, but by the quiet moments, the shared glances, the unspoken understandings that linger long after a conversation has ended. In these moments, we see the essence of what it means to truly care for another, to honor their presence in our lives, and to respect the journey they have walked, even when it differs from our own. Every relationship, every friendship, every act of love carries with it a story, a narrative woven from shared experiences, moments of vulnerability, and times when understanding triumphed over pride. In reflecting on these stories, I am reminded that human connection is not always simple or straightforward. It is layered, nuanced, and sometimes complicated. Yet, it is precisely these complexities that make our bonds meaningful. To love another fully is to embrace not only their strengths but also their vulnerabilities, to recognize that they, like ourselves, are continuously evolving, learning, and navigating the challenges that life presents. There is a unique beauty in witnessing growth, both within ourselves and in those we cherish. It is a reminder that love is not static, that understanding deepens over time, and that patience is one of the greatest gifts we can offer to someone we care for. In moments of doubt, when distance or circumstance threatens to cloud our understanding, it is essential to return to the core of what makes a connection enduring: respect, empathy, and the willingness to listen. These qualities allow us to bridge gaps, to mend misunderstandings, and to reaffirm the bonds that define our lives. Life has taught me that no matter how independent or self-sufficient one may strive to be, there is immense value in allowing oneself to be supported, to be guided, and to be nurtured by those who hold our hearts with care. It is through these exchanges of trust and love that we discover the true meaning of companionship, loyalty, and devotion. Each person we encounter brings with them a perspective, a history, and a depth of experience that can enrich our understanding of the world. When we approach others with an open heart and a willingness to learn, we invite wisdom, compassion, and insight into our lives. We recognize that age, status, or circumstance do not define the value of a soul, but the intentions, actions, and authenticity they carry. In reflecting on the connections that have shaped me, I am reminded that love is as much about giving as it is about receiving. It is an exchange that requires vulnerability, courage, and the ability to see beyond oneself. To love deeply is to open one's heart fully, to embrace another without reservation, and to honor the life and experiences they bring into our shared journey. Even in moments of tension, when miscommunication or disagreement arises, the foundation of understanding can provide stability. It is in these moments that compassion becomes essential, that listening takes precedence over speaking, and that the recognition of our shared humanity bridges the gap between hearts. There is a profound truth in knowing that those we hold dear are not perfect, but that their imperfections, like our own, contribute to the richness of our shared experiences. The lessons of patience, resilience, and forgiveness become apparent when we approach one another with empathy, understanding that mistakes are opportunities for growth, and that love is strengthened, not diminished, by the challenges we navigate together. It is often the quietest gestures, the way a hand is held in reassurance, the gentle encouragement to keep moving forward, the thoughtful words spoken at precisely the right moment, that leave the most enduring impact. These moments of attentive presence shape our understanding of what it means to care, to nurture, and to love unconditionally. I have come to appreciate that the measure of a person is not in their words alone, but in the consistency of their actions, the depth of their understanding, and the patience with which they engage with the world around them. In observing the ways people navigate life, face adversity, and support those they cherish, we gain insight into the true nature of strength and grace. Life is unpredictable, full of unexpected twists and turns, yet it is within these uncertainties that we discover resilience, courage, and the capacity to grow. Every challenge presents an opportunity for reflection, for deepening understanding, and for strengthening the bonds that sustain us. When we allow ourselves to remain present, to listen with care, and to respond with empathy, we create a space in which love and trust can flourish. In every encounter, there is the potential for profound connection, for shared understanding, and for mutual support. The moments we may overlook, the shared laughter, the simple act of being present, the quiet encouragement in times of struggle, often leave the most lasting impressions. It is through these small yet significant gestures that the foundations of lasting relationships are built. To acknowledge the influence of those we care about is to honor not only their presence, but the impact they have on shaping our perspectives, values, and understanding of the world. It is a recognition that life is enriched by the people we allow to enter our hearts, that wisdom is shared through both words and deeds, and that love endures when nurtured with patience, respect, and authenticity. As I consider the depth of these reflections, I am reminded that connection is not always immediate, nor is understanding always instantaneous. It is cultivated over time through consistent presence, mindful attention, and a willingness to engage with another's experiences as if they were our own. In doing so, we create relationships that are not merely transactional, but profoundly transformative. The value of such connections lies not in their visibility, but in the quiet reassurance they provide, the strength they impart, and the inspiration they instill. These bonds remind us that life is not a solitary journey, but a shared one, enriched by empathy, mutual respect, and the willingness to grow alongside one another. Even when faced with moments of separation, the influence of a truly caring presence endures. It is felt in the choices we make, the confidence we cultivate, and the understanding we carry forward. Every interaction, every gesture of consideration, and every act of encouragement becomes a thread in the intricate tapestry of human experience, connecting hearts across time, distance, and circumstance. In recognizing this, I have learned to value patience, to honor the wisdom that comes with experience, and to embrace the beauty of a relationship that is rooted in authenticity. Life, with all its unpredictability, becomes richer when approached with an open heart, a willingness to learn, and a dedication to nurturing the bonds that sustain us. This understanding has allowed me to perceive love not as a fleeting emotion, but as a continual process of giving, receiving, and growing together. It is in this process that we discover the resilience of the human spirit, the depth of our capacity for empathy, and the enduring power of connection. As I continue to reflect on the journey of life, I am reminded that growth often arrives not through moments of comfort, but through the experiences that challenge us the most. It is in facing uncertainty, confronting doubt, and stepping into the unknown that we discover the depth of our strength and the clarity of our purpose. There is a remarkable courage that emerges when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, when we express our true selves without fear of judgment, and when we embrace the lessons hidden within adversity. Love, in its most profound expression, is not a shield from difficulty, rather, it is a companion that offers support and guidance even in the harshest of times. To love deeply is to accept that life will inevitably bring trials, yet it is the unwavering presence of those who care for us that transforms struggle into opportunity. I have come to understand that meaningful connections require patience, empathy, and a willingness to forgive. There are moments when misunderstandings arise, when pride clouds our judgment, and when the distance between intention and perception seems insurmountable. Yet, even in these moments, love offers a path forward. It whispers that we can seek understanding before judgment, compassion before resentment, and reconciliation before estrangement. The quiet power of empathy allows us to listen not only to words but to the emotions and experiences that lie beneath them. It teaches us to honor the humanity in one another, to recognize that every individual carries with them a story shaped by circumstance, choice, and experience. In witnessing this, I have learned that love is not solely an expression of emotion, but also a commitment to see and honor the fullness of another person's journey. Life, in all its complexity, often requires that we balance our desire for independence with the understanding that no one exists in isolation. We are, each of us, influenced by the people who inhabit our lives, the mentors, the guides, the friends, and the loved ones who challenge us, support us, and encourage us to grow. There is a profound beauty in recognizing that our experiences are not solitary, they are shared, interwoven with the presence and influence of those we trust and cherish. When we cultivate relationships that are rooted in respect, authenticity, and unconditional support, we allow for a kind of intimacy that transcends the superficial. We create a space where vulnerability is met with care, curiosity is met with understanding, and ambition is met with encouragement. In these spaces, we are not required to hide our doubts, mask our fears, or diminish our hopes. Instead, we are invited to step fully into our humanity, to honor our strengths while acknowledging our limitations, and to grow together in ways that are transformative and enduring. There is a lesson in the way love manifests itself quietly, patiently, and persistently. It is in the daily acts of attention, the unspoken reassurances, the shared laughter and silent understanding that the true power of a connection is revealed. It reminds us that love is not always grandiose, but it is steadfast. It does not demand recognition or praise, it simply exists, shaping lives in ways that may only become fully apparent with time. When I consider the people who have left an indelible mark on my life, I am struck by the subtlety and depth of their influence. They have not always offered solutions or directives, but their presence has offered stability, insight, and the courage to face the challenges before me. It is a reminder that the impact of love and guidance is not always immediate, but its resonance endures across the years, shaping choices, nurturing growth, and inspiring resilience. One of the most profound realizations I have had is that every human being carries within them a combination of strength and vulnerability. It is in acknowledging both that we find the capacity to connect meaningfully. To truly see another person, to understand their joys, fears, and aspirations, requires a deliberate act of attention, empathy, and openness. It demands that we suspend judgment, embrace patience, and extend grace, not only to others, but to ourselves as well. In embracing these principles, we cultivate relationships that are not only enduring, but transformative. They teach us about our own hearts, about the ways in which we give and receive care, and about the depth of our capacity for compassion. There is an elegance in understanding that the people who shape our lives do so not through perfection, but through authenticity. It is in their consistency, their integrity, and their willingness to be fully present that we find the true measure of influence. Life is not a series of isolated moments, but a continuous tapestry woven from the interactions, choices, and connections that define our existence. Each thread, each encounter, contributes to the pattern, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically, yet always meaningfully. When we honor the contributions of those who have guided and supported us, we acknowledge the depth of their impact and the beauty of the shared journey. Love, guidance, and mentorship are gifts that shape not only our present but our future selves. They remind us that we are never alone in navigating life's complexities, and that the lessons imparted by those we admire can become foundations upon which we build our own lives. In reflecting on these truths, I am reminded of the importance of intention. Every interaction carries with the potential to heal, to uplift, and to inspire. When we approach life with mindfulness, curiosity, and a willingness to understand, we amplify the positive impact we can have on others. The value of a compassionate presence cannot be overstated. It offers not only comfort, but also clarity and perspective, particularly in moments of uncertainty or doubt. As I consider the future, I am inspired by the knowledge that meaningful connections endure despite the passage of time. Even when separated by distance, circumstance, or life's inevitable changes, the influence of those who have shaped us remains. It is a testament to the enduring power of love, trust, and empathy that the lessons, guidance, and support we receive continue to inform our choices, our values, and our understanding of the world. There is a remarkable resilience in recognizing that the essence of connection is not diminished by absence. On the contrary, it deepens, taking root in memory, reflection, and the ongoing dialogue of life. This resilience allows us to approach new experiences, challenges, and relationships with a foundation of understanding, empathy, and wisdom drawn from the bonds we have nurtured. In this awareness, I find both gratitude and purpose. Gratitude for those who have invested themselves in my growth, and purpose in the knowledge that I am capable of carrying forward the values, insights, and compassion they have instilled. Life, in its unpredictability, offers countless opportunities to extend this influence to others, to offer guidance, to provide support, and to share in the experiences that define the human journey. The capacity to impact another's life meaningfully is both a privilege and a responsibility. It reminds us that while our own experiences shape us, our engagement with others shapes the world around us. Every act of kindness, every moment of attentiveness, every expression of understanding contributes to the greater narrative of human connection. It is through this awareness that we learn to navigate relationships with care, intentionality, and heart. Love and respect are not passive states, they are active choices that we make daily. They are the conscious decisions to engage with another person fully, to honor their story, and to invest in the ongoing development of a shared journey. These choices, though sometimes quiet or unremarkable on the surface, carry profound significance. They remind us that the essence of life is relational, that the depth and quality of our connections ultimately define the richness of our experiences. In acknowledging this, I am encouraged to approach every relationship with mindfulness, patience, and empathy. I am reminded that the influence we have on one another is not always immediately visible, yet its impact resonates long after a moment has passed. This perspective shapes not only how I interact with others, but also how I perceive my own role in the broader tapestry of life. Every day presents an opportunity to contribute positively, to support, and to nurture the people who matter most. It challenges us to be present, to listen deeply, and to act with intention and care. These are the qualities that build lasting bonds, inspire trust, and cultivate environments in which individuals can flourish. As I reflect on these truths, I recognize that love, guidance, and mentorship are not limited to any single context. They exist in families, friendships, partnerships, and communities. They transcend circumstance, age, and background. They are rooted in authenticity, empathy, and the willingness to engage meaningfully with the experiences of others. When we cultivate such connections, we create networks of support, understanding, and growth that sustain us through life's inevitable challenges. In doing so, we honor both ourselves and those who have entrusted us with their care, confidence, and trust. Life is not a solitary endeavor. It is a shared experience enriched by meaningful interactions and deep relationships. Every connection, no matter how fleeting or enduring, offers the potential to teach, to inspire, and to transform. By approaching these moments with openness, humility, and attentiveness, we create the conditions for growth, compassion, and lasting impact. This understanding has shaped the way I approach every relationship in my life, reminding me that love is not merely a feeling, but a series of choices, intentions, and actions that collectively define the depth of connection. As I move forward, I realize that life's beauty often lies in its unpredictability. Each day brings new lessons, challenges, and opportunities that shape our character and understanding of the world. It is not in perfection that we grow, but in the willingness to face our fears, embrace uncertainty, and remain open to the wisdom that arises from every experience. I have come to see that true courage is not the absence of doubt, but the ability to continue forward despite it. It is in these moments of vulnerability that the human spirit shines most brilliantly. We are capable of immense resilience, of profound empathy, and of a love that transcends circumstance and time. This capacity, when nurtured, becomes a force that shapes not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us. To love deeply is to accept the complexities inherent in another person and to honor them for all that they are. Their triumphs, their struggles, and the quiet moments that define who they truly are. It is a conscious choice to see the entirety of a person, not merely the facets that are convenient or easily understood. In embracing this, I have learned that relationships are built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and understanding. They require patience when challenges arise, empathy when perspectives differ, and commitment when paths diverge. These are the principles that create bonds capable of enduring the trials and unpredictability of life. I have also come to understand that self-reflection is an essential companion to love and connection. To recognize our own limitations, to confront our fears, and to take responsibility for our choices allows us to engage with others more fully and authentically. There is profound liberation in acknowledging our imperfections, for it is through this acknowledgement that we gain the insight and humility necessary to navigate life with grace. The relationships that sustain and inspire us do not exist in isolation. They are reflections of our inner lives, of the care, attention, and intention we bring to them. By cultivating mindfulness, empathy, and generosity, we create spaces in which meaningful connection can flourish. These are not fleeting gestures or performative acts. They are deliberate expressions of love, respect, and commitment that resonate deeply with those who receive them. As I reflect on the presence of those who have shaped my journey, I am reminded that true influence is often quiet, subtle, and enduring. It is found in the consistency of care, the patience of guidance, and the unwavering willingness to be present even when circumstances are difficult. These qualities, when embodied, create a ripple effect, inspiring others to act with integrity, courage, and compassion. In observing this, I have come to appreciate the extraordinary power of everyday acts of kindness, attentiveness, and love. Life is a mosaic of such moments, each contributing to the richness and texture of our experience. The lessons we receive from those who have walked before us, from mentors, friends, and loved ones, are invaluable. They shape our understanding of the world, inform our decisions, and provide the foundation upon which we build our own lives. The impact of their presence is not measured in grand gestures alone, but in the subtle ways they influence our choices, model resilience, and offer unwavering support. It is through their example that we learn the importance of integrity, compassion, and the courage to remain true to our values even amidst challenges. Equally important is the recognition that every individual has the capacity to shape the lives of others in meaningful ways. Every kind word, every act of encouragement, and every moment of shared vulnerability has the potential to leave an enduring impression. In this way, the connections we cultivate become both a reflection of our character and a testament to the influence we choose to wield in the lives of those we touch. Understanding this has transformed my perspective on human relationships, revealing the extraordinary power inherent in care, presence, and authenticity. It has reinforced the notion that love is not merely an emotion to be felt, but a practice to be embodied through our actions, choices, and attentiveness. In reflecting on my own experiences, I recognize that the most profound growth often arises from the moments when I am challenged to confront fear, embrace uncertainty, and extend understanding beyond my comfort zone. It is in these experiences that resilience is cultivated, empathy is deepened, and the capacity for meaningful connection is expanded. Life's trials, while often unwelcome, offer the opportunity to develop patience, courage, and a deeper appreciation for the gifts of support, guidance, and companionship that surround us. There is a remarkable strength in recognizing that while we cannot always control the circumstances we face, we can control the manner in which we respond. Our choices in response to life's challenges define not only the trajectory of our journey, but also the depth and quality of our relationships. By approaching each situation with reflection, intentionality, and an open heart, we cultivate the conditions for growth, understanding, and enduring connection. In this context, love becomes a guiding force, encouraging us to act with empathy, to communicate with clarity, and to engage with others in ways that honor their humanity. It reminds us that the essence of connection is not transactional, but relational, built on trust, care, and mutual respect. Moreover, I have learned that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a profound strength. To reveal one's fears, hopes, and aspirations requires courage, and to receive another's vulnerability with openness and compassion requires an equally profound courage. These exchanges, when nurtured, create intimacy, foster understanding, and deepen the bonds that define meaningful human connection. Love, in its truest form, exists as both a sanctuary and a catalyst. It offers safety and support in times of uncertainty, while simultaneously challenging us to grow, evolve, and embrace the fullness of our humanity. The people who inspire us, guide us, and support us are not mere companions. They are mirrors reflecting our potential, offering insight into the possibilities inherent within us. To honor these relationships is to acknowledge the depth of their impact and to commit to reciprocating care, attention, and understanding in meaningful ways. Life's journey is marked by moments of joy, struggle, discovery, and reflection. Each of these experiences contributes to the richness of our narrative, shaping our perspectives, values, and the manner in which we engage with the world. By approaching life with mindfulness, intentionality, and a commitment to connection, we cultivate experiences that are not only personally fulfilling, but also transformative for those around us. As I reflect on this, I am reminded that love, guidance, and mentorship are dynamic, evolving forces. They require attentiveness, patience, and a willingness to engage with complexity. They call upon us to act with empathy, to listen deeply, and to respond with care and understanding. In embracing these principles, we contribute to a culture of support, growth, and meaningful connection that enriches both our own lives and the lives of others. The bonds we cultivate are not defined solely by circumstance, but by the care, attention, and intentionality we bring to them. They are sustained by consistent presence, mutual respect, and the willingness to navigate challenges together. These relationships, when nurtured with authenticity and compassion, become enduring sources of inspiration, guidance, and love. In conclusion, the journey of life is a continuous interplay between growth, connection, and understanding. It is shaped by the people who influence us, the experiences that challenge us, and the choices we make in response. By approaching life with empathy, mindfulness, and intentionality, we cultivate relationships that are rich, meaningful, and enduring. Love is not passive, it is an active engagement, a commitment to honor, support, and nurture those who are important to us. It requires courage, vulnerability, and the willingness to embrace the full spectrum of human experience. As I continue along my own journey, I carry with me the lessons learned from those who have guided and inspired me. I strive to approach each connection with authenticity, care, and presence, recognizing the profound impact that even small gestures can have. I honor the resilience, wisdom, and love of those who have shaped my life, and I endeavor to reflect these qualities in my own interactions. Life's greatest gifts are found in the relationships we cultivate, the empathy we extend, and the love we offer. It is through these connections that we experience the richness of life, find strength in adversity, and discover the enduring power of human connection. As I conclude this reflection, I am filled with gratitude for the people who have guided me, for the experiences that have shaped me, and for the opportunity to share this journey with those who inspire me. Love, understanding, and compassion are not merely ideals, they are practices that define the essence of a meaningful life. By embracing them, we create not only a richer world for ourselves, but also for those who walk alongside us. This is the enduring lesson I carry forward, that the depth of our connections, the intentionality of our actions, and the authenticity of our hearts shape the narrative of our lives in ways that are timeless, profound, and transformative.